Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are diving into something that sounds simple, doesn't it? Silence.
Right. But it's surprisingly complaints.
Exactly. We're not just talking about, quiet outside. We mean finding that internal stillness, that quiet inside your own head. So our mission today really is to unpack the sources that tell us why our minds are just so busy all the time.
Constantly going.
Yeah. And what happens if we actually manage to dial down that internal chatter? How can stillness lead to maybe better judgment or creativity?
Or even perhaps a fundamentally different view of reality itself.
It's a crucial deep dive, I think, because we're sort of fighting our own wiring here, aren't we?
We absolutely are.
Mhm.
For a long time, the thinking in neuroscience was kind of, the brain's only really on when you're doing a task.
Right, like solving a puzzle or something.
Exactly. But the research, especially over the last, say, 20 years, it's completely turned that on its head. The mind is, well, it's always busy,
Even when we think we're resting.
especially then sometimes. Wakeful rest, passive thought, there's constant electrical buzz, active metabolism. It never really stops.
Yeah.
And that's the baseline challenge if you're seeking, real inner quiet.
Okay, so let's get into that constant activity. Where is it coming from? Let's look at this. Default mode network, the DMN. I sort of picture it like the brain's background operating system, always running.
It's actually a pretty good way to think about it. The DMN isn't one spot, it's a big network. Key players are areas like the medial prefrontal cortex.
Okay, sounds technical. What does that do?
Well, that part's big on thinking about yourself and trying to figure out what others are thinking or intending, the social stuff.
Oh, okay.
Then you've got the posterior or cingulate cortex that integrates your personal history, memories, and the angular gyrus, which helps make sense of, language, space, context.
So pulling it together,
Yeah.
when we're just sitting there, supposedly doing nothing, what's this DMN actually doing for us?
It's basically creating you, your sense of self. It's most famous for being super active during that wakeful rest you mentioned.
Like daydreaming.
Exactly. Daydreaming, mind wandering, waiting for the bus. The sources really emphasize that the DMN is crafting this ongoing internal story.
Our narrative.
Your narrative, yeah. Connecting who you were, who you are now, who you might be. It gives you that feeling of being a continuous person through time.
And it's not just about navel gazing, right? It has practical functions.
Oh, definitely. It's crucial for autobiographical memory, remembering your past experiences, but also using those memories to plan or simulate future events. It pulls in areas like the hippocampus for that.
Interesting.
And get this, studies show that when different people listen to the same story, even in different languages,
Yeah.
their DMN activity patterns become highly synchronized, really similar.
Wow. So it's not just processing the words.
No, it suggests the DMN is involved in getting the deeper meaning, the core comprehension of the narrative itself.
So it's turning information into my story, my context. What about creativity? You often think you need laser focus for that.
Well, yes and no. Research shows the DMN is actually highly active during creative tasks, like thinking of unusual uses for everyday objects.
The alternate uses test.
That's the one. And it's central to mind wandering. The idea is that the DMN helps recall these episodic memories, sometimes seemingly at random. And that's where originality comes from. It connects ideas that maybe weren't connected before in your mind. Those aha moments often come when the DMN is just drifting.
Okay, so if this DMN is constantly spinning our story memories, plans, anxieties, the whole lot, it's no wonder that inner chatter often feels like a battle, doesn't it? Between, the logical part of us and the emotional part, it can feel like chaos in there.
That conflict is exactly what we're trying to navigate. And we can think about it in terms of two extremes. Let's call them reasonable mind and emotion mind.
Okay.
Reasonable mind is, well, think of it as your inner professor. Or maybe Spock from Star Trek.
Logical. Cool. Collected.
Totally. Focused on stats, facts, logic, planning. It's analytical.
The part you need for doing your taxes or balancing the budget. Pure function.
Absolutely essential for those tasks. But what's the risk if Spock is always in charge?
Well, I guess you lose touch.
Precisely. Disconnection. The reasonable mind is so locked onto facts and logic that it can just disregard the emotional cost of the solution for you or for others.
So it kind of invalidates feelings.
It can, yeah. And if you live purely in that state, you risk becoming detached, cold, maybe even calculating. And ironically, that pure logic can eventually lead to this profound sense of emptiness.
Which then makes you swing violently the other way.
Often, yes. It's not sustainable. But you need that logical part, right? Like you said, you don't want emotions dictating your tax return.
Right. You don't want Dr. McCoy doing the counting.
Exactly. McCoy's the other extreme, emotion mind.
Ah, the hot state.
Yes. Feelings, impulses, desires are in the driver's seat. Consequences. Maybe not thinking about those so much.
Okay, but isn't that essential too for love, connection?
Absolutely vital. It drives our relationships, motivates self-sacrifice, like a parent protecting a child. That's pure emotion mind in action. It's powerful.
I feel like I live there when I'm stuck in traffic. Pure McCoy.
Chuckles slightly.
Yeah.
Many of us do. But the drawback is obvious, isn't it? If it's all impulse, no reason.
Your feelings distort reality. You overreact.
Exactly. You make choices that seem right in the moment because the feeling is strong, but they end up being ineffective, maybe even destructive. It creates this cycle of suffering. New problems get created by trying to fix the feeling, not the situation.
And it's easily triggered too, right? Like being tired or hungry.
Incredibly fragile state. Sleep deprivation, hunger, stress. They all push you towards emotion mind, which is why, trying to find balance can't just happen when you're stressed. You need to practice when things are calm.
Okay, so living in pure logic leaves us cold and empty. Living in pure emotion leaves us in chaos. Neither is the answer.
Correct. The goal isn't one or the other, it's the integration, the blend. And that blend is what we call wise mind.
Wise mind, okay.
It's where emotion and intellect meet. It's that state where you find balanced judgment, make decisions that truly align with your core values. It leads to a life that feels, meaningful, content.
It's like Kirk, maybe, using both Spock and McCoy to make the final call.
That's a great way to put it. You need the compassion from emotion mind, but tempered by the analysis of reasonable mind.
And how do we get there? The key seems to be deliberate silence and reflection.
That's right. Self-reflection is crucial. Actually stopping, observing your thoughts, feelings, reactions, instead of just constantly reacting to whatever happens next.
Gaining perspective.
Exactly. And this ties into ancient practices too, like manasatana, conscious silence.
Conscious silence, it sounds like. Conserving energy.
That's a core idea in some traditions, yes. Our sources mention that speech is seen as a huge consumer of vital energy, or prana, second only to carnal pleasure, apparently.
Interesting.
So practicing silence, even just an hour a day, is thought to conserve that energy. Energy you can then use for deeper things like meditation, introspection, creating the space for wise mind to actually show up.
Okay, so there's a spiritual or energetic benefit. What about physically? Does being quiet actually do anything to our bodies?
Oh, absolutely. The physiological effects are quite clear. Stillness, meditation, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest.
Exactly, and it actively inhibits the sympathetic system, the fight or flight response.
So it literally calms your body down.
It does. A key player here is the vagus nerve. Stillness stimulates it. And the vagus nerve is central to regulating heart rate, blood pressure, even mood.
So if the effect is so direct, why isn't practice stillness a standard prescription?
Well, it takes consistent effort from the individual, unlike just taking a pill. But the evidence is strong. It's not just about feeling calmer. Studies show stillness practices can even improve immune function. Things like a better antibody response after getting a vaccine. The internal quiet literally seems to help your body defend itself better. So, wise mind isn't just for better decisions, it's linked to better physical health too.
That's tangible. Okay, so practically speaking, I'm overwhelmed, stuck in traffic, definitely an emotion mind. What do I do right then to find wise mind?
The go-to mindfulness technique is simple. Focus on your breath completely.
Okay.
As you inhale, mentally say the word wise.
Inhale slightly, wise.
As you exhale, mentally say mind.
Exhale slightly, mind.
Just repeat that. Or, another way, focus intently on a tiny pause, the stillness that happens right between the end of your inhale and the start of your exhale. And again, between the exhale and inhale.
Little gap.
That tiny gap is stillness. It's your immediate doorway to wise mind, right there, always available.
Okay, so we quiet the DMN's chatter. We find wise mind. But what if we go deeper? What happens when we push past all the mental noise, the physical stuff, that whole internal story? What's left? This is where it gets, well, a bit strange maybe.
It certainly pushes us towards some profound, philosophical, and even scientific ideas. The silence leads us towards concepts of emptiness.
Emptiness sounds empty, like nothing.
Not necessarily nothing in a nihilistic way.
Right.
In some Hindu traditions, for instance, Shiva's silence isn't a void. It's seen as the source of creation. It's absolute consciousness, pure potentiality, the state before sound, before Om.
Okay.
And similarly, in Mahayana Buddhism, there's the concept of sunyata, emptiness. But it means things lack inherent independent existence. They exist through dependent arising. It's emptiness from self-clinging, not just
Nothingness.
It's weird to think of reality itself as empty, but science kind of points that way too, doesn't it? Like atoms.
Our famously 99.9 something percent empty space, yes.
So the feeling of solidness, this table, my hand, that's just
It's generally explained by electromagnetic forces, repulsive forces between the electron clouds of atoms. They don't actually touch in the way we imagine. The apparent solidity is an interaction within mostly empty space.
wow. And this connects to quantum physics too, deeply. Quantum particles have that strange duality, right? They can be particles located in space and time, or they can be waves.
Spread out potential.
Infinite potentiality, as some sources put it, existing everywhere at once, in a way, until observed. A core takeaway from experiments like the double-slit experiment is that before observation, before the mind interacts with it, reality seems to exist only as this field of potential.
Infinite potentiality.
The solid, seemingly fixed reality we experience, the one our DMN builds a story around, might just be one possibility collapsed from infinite potential by the act of observation, by consciousness itself.
So is the void some people talk about, that feeling after a big life change or awakening? Is that just the feeling of the DMN finally powering down, the storyteller going quiet?
Psychologically, that seems to be a good way to understand it. It's often described as this quiet, sometimes lonely transitional phase.
Like the old you is gone.
The old programming, the old narrative, the old coping mechanisms,
Yeah.
they've dissolved. But the new self, the new operating system, is maybe still loading.
Still loading. I like that.
It can feel unsettling, even like a quiet depression, because our culture often makes us feel guilty for not doing, not striving. You're essentially detoxing from that constant hustle.
Floating in between timelines, as one source put it, in deep recovery mode.
Yes, and that quiet, that emptiness isn't necessarily bad. It's the space needed to recalibrate, to rebuild based on something deeper than the external noise or the old, outdated narrative. Trusting that you aren't broken, just resetting in the silence. #outro. So wrapping this up, what we've seen is that our minds, through structures like the DMN, naturally generate a lot of internal noise, that constant narrative.
Right, it's the default setting.
But through deliberate practice, cultivating internal quiet, we can learn to integrate reason and emotion, accessing that wise mind for better balance and judgment.
And potentially glimpse something deeper.
And potentially touch on this deeper reality, this sense of emptiness that isn't a void, but maybe pure potentiality, the silence beneath the noise.
So for you listening, whether you're dealing with stress or looking for a creative spark or maybe navigating a really big life change, the path forward seems to involve consciously bringing together that cool logic of your reasonable mind with the vital warmth and compassion of your emotion mind. Finding that wise mind balance.
It's an active integration.
Yeah. And here's a final thought to leave you with. You might feel like you need to listen harder to the world outside, to the news, to advice, to demands, to figure out your next step.
That's the usual approach.
But if the fundamental nature of reality is this infinite potentiality only taking form when your mind observes it, what answers might surface if you deliberately stopped observing the external world for a moment? If you just listened, really listen, to the quiet stillness and the pause between your own thoughts, what might potentiality reveal then?